Guy David here is saying, forgive the Big Ten, forgive Michigan. Sorry about fielding Yo's. Come to the Big Ten, please. We will add Stanford too. Thanks.
Yeah, I don't know. I was actually just speaking with a buddy about this the other day, and who knows really what Notre Dame's going to do when it comes to the Big Ten. But I wouldn't be surprised if Stanford ends up there. I wouldn't be surprised if Oregon ends up there. There's probably certainly some other teams that could quote unquote pair with Notre Dame if that was the case. But I think, like you mentioned, you tweeted the other day, like Big Ten's not going to go an even number of teams simply because they have to have an even number of teams. They're going to get the best quality they can, and if that's simply just Notre Dame or whoever it may be, then I think that's the route they're going to take.
So Nathan, for you and for anybody else that knows Notre Dame football and what the mindset and the approach may be, they obviously just didn't jump on the Big Ten's request and join the league. They're contemplating it. They haven't turned them down from what we know yet. So what factors do you think are being taken into consideration? Do you think that they're looking for another TV contract? That might be the deciding factor.
Yeah, they still have, I think, 2 years left with NBC before it's either at the end of 2024 or the end of 2025. I forget exactly. So they have a couple more years with that. Obviously, they could be bought out of that, or if anything, if they need to be. But I think they're working with NBC to see if maybe they can get some more money there. I mean, I think that's maybe the biggest common misconception with Notre Dame is that they make more money as being an independent than being in a conference, especially now. So I think they're certainly going to weigh that aspect of getting those conference television rights. So NBC is obviously someone, and you hear the rumors of maybe a streaming service like HBO or Netflix maybe taking them on down the road as well, which would certainly be intriguing, I think, for Notre Dame to be on one of those platforms if it worked out that way. But I don't know. I don't know where I lean at this point with them. I think there's a decent chance they end up in the Big Ten or some sort of ACC deal or whatever it may be. But I think in a perfect world, they'd love to stay independent.
So you don't know which way you lean in terms of the way it's going to play out, but which way do you lean in terms of what you want?
I tend to, I think, lean the way Notre Dame wants to lean in this aspect, which would be to stay independent. I think they have a big enough brand, obviously, which has been showcased, for many, many years now. And as long as I think they get that money, that makes sense. I think it would be probably in their best interest to stay independent. But I don't know. There is an intriguing aspect of moving specifically, I think, to the Big Ten. Now with USC there, their biggest rival, in my opinion, certainly their most longstanding rival. I would say that's intriguing because they would still play them on a yearly basis or not have to worry about playing them on a yearly basis because it would be there. You can reunite with the Michigan State, Purdue rivalries that have been showcased for a long period of time. Would love to play Ohio State on at least I don't know if it'd be yearly per se, but at least regularly. And then of course all of the other Midwest programs that are involved with that conference. Maybe not Midwest per se, but Penn State is certainly a team that they have some history with that I'd love to play on a regular basis. I loved the Wisconsin game last year, and they're going to be playing them again here. I think either next year or the year after that. With the COVID shutdown, they kind of rearranged some things on the schedule. So a lot of the Big Ten teams are certainly programs that I would like Notre Dame to play on a more regular basis. You have the Northwestern aspect of it too, with it being the Chicago high academic. And stuff like that as well. So if they do end up joining a conference, I definitely lean towards the Big Ten, and I think most Notre Dame fans do. But I certainly lean towards staying independent if it's doable.